What's up, everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today let's talk about the worst kinds of private drum instructors. Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the red button down below that says subscribe. That way you are notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now make sure that notification bell is ringing as well. That way, for sure, you will be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe. Make sure that notification bell is ringing, ding, and let's get to the video. Okay, so last week I did a video about the worst types of drumline instructors. Today, I want to talk about the worst types of private drum instructors. And the reason for this is because I want to look at the bigger picture. I always try to look at the bigger picture. You know, in all of my videos, hopefully you've seen a lot of them, I really try to think big picture, not just in the micro, but in the macro, okay? And in looking at the big picture and looking at the macro, you have to look at all sides. In my last video, you know, I definitely came in support of this particular private instructor who had students, you know, that he was teaching, and the local drumline instructor, where they share the students, right, was discouraging, actively discouraging the students from taking lessons from the private drum instructor, saying that the private instructor sucks, doesn't know what he's talking about, isn't that good for the students, they need to go somewhere else, blah, blah, okay? And if I was in that situation, I'd be mad. Quite honestly, I'd be pissed. So my initial reaction is, like, screw that guy, like, you know, screw the drumline instructor, like, that's not cool. And in many ways, it's still not cool, especially in the context of semantics. Like, if you say, like, you know, this person sucks, doesn't know what he's talking about, like, you know, in a business sense, like, you know, if you try to take clients away and you say and you do things in that way, it's still not very cool. It's still not very professional. I can still stick with that, okay? However, I do agree, and this is something that was brought up to me in terms of, like, you know, having another perspective, the perspective of the drumline instructor. The drumline instructor absolutely has the right to, you know, refer their students to where they feel like they would get the best education that, in their opinion. Does that make sense? Especially the best type of instructors for their students that would help their program. That's absolutely their prerogative. Like, let's look at it from a business standpoint, okay? You have preferred vendors, okay? So let's say you're a real estate agent, right? You're selling houses. You're gonna need electricians. You're gonna need gardeners. You're gonna need, or landscapers, right? You're gonna need cleaners. You're gonna need handymen, okay? And when you hire these individuals, you have a preferred vendor list. You have your preferred handyman. You have your preferred landscaper. You have your preferred window washer. And you go to them every single time. Why? Because you know they're reliable, you know their work is good, your experience with them is great, you have great rapport with them, and you always go to these individuals. So that is what having a preferred vendor list is. And you feel like these individuals are going to give you the best service possible, because you're serving clients, right? So you have to look at your clients, okay? So it's no different than being a drumline instructor, where you are, you know, the students are your clients, and you have to serve your clients to the best of your ability. So you want to refer them to the type of service people that will service them the best and help your overall program, aka your company. Does that make sense? So in a business sense, it absolutely makes sense, and is absolutely the drum instructor's right to refer students to where they think they need to go, okay? However, if you're a private drum instructor like myself, okay, if you don't do the following, okay, you're literally the worst private instructor ever, okay? Because, you know, a lot of it has to do with being oblivious, you know, not being proactive, not supporting the drumline. And this is what I'm talking about, okay? So what I do with my private students, when I first start working with them, the first thing I always tell them right off the bat is, if there's any conflict whatsoever in our teaching philosophies, in the approaches, in anything that I tell you, if any of those things conflict with your current drumline or the teachings of your drumline instructor, you have to tell me that it contradicts. And then what I'm going to tell you is, okay, let's try it my way during this 1 hour, during this lesson, okay? And then when you go to your drumline, Don't go there and say, hey, Carl taught me this and I'm gonna do this because he says this is right, okay? No, okay, what you need to do is, all right, I learned something from Carl, great, I'm gonna keep this in the back of my mind. All right, now I'm gonna do whatever the drumline instructor tells me, okay? That's number one, okay? So there's no conflicts of interest, there's no like, stepping on anybody's toes. I am deferring, okay, to the drumline instructor. Their word is gold, okay, because I am in support of them. The other thing I might do, okay, is, I might ask them, hey, is there any music that you're learning that can help you learn? Cool. Again, that's servicing the student and helping out the drumline because I'm helping them learn the music so they can learn it faster, figure out whatever issues they're having, and have another set of eyes for that drumline instructor. Again, I'm supporting the drumline instructor. If there's a certain technique that I'm not familiar with, like let's say, the student goes, hey, we're learning Moeller at our school. And if I'm not familiar with Moeller, I'm gonna learn that shit, okay? Better believe it. I'm gonna study it, I'm gonna learn it, and then when lesson time comes, okay, cool, I studied it, now I can help you, this is what I've learned, here, let me share what I've learned and help you out with that, okay? Or whatever technique, whatever, thing that I'm not familiar with, I'm gonna learn it, I'm gonna study it to better serve my clients, in this case, my students. Does that make sense, right? So you have to be adaptable. You have to be proactive. You have to defer. You can't step on anybody's toes as a private teacher. Because at the end of the day, the drumline instructor has these students for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week, maybe 6 times a week, counting competitions, okay? They should absolutely have priority over the instruction, the student's growth, and in terms of, and also like where they refer their students to for private instruction, okay? But if you, as a private instructor, if you're doing the right things, okay, if you are deferring, if you are supporting, if you are not stepping on anybody's toes, if you are supporting the program and the student in general, then there's no reason why the drumline instructor will try to discourage the students from taking lessons from you. Does that make sense? Because you're being supportive, right? Another level that you can take it at is talk to these drumline instructors, talk to the local drumline instructors where you are sharing these students and ask them, like, what can I do to support your program? What can I do to support these students better? What can I do to support your teaching? Is there something that you're teaching them that I should be looking for during our private instruction? That, okay, is being proactive. That is like really getting on the good side of the drumline instructor so they can be like, oh yeah, Carl's a great guy. Carl's a good teacher. Like, I have no problem having students go to Carl, okay? That's what you want to do, okay? So if you're not doing any of those things, you're just only hurting yourself. You're only hurting your business if you are a private drum instructor, okay? So hopefully this kind of clears things up. If you saw my last video and you're kind of like, Carl's not looking at the bigger picture here. And most of the time I try to, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes, like I come up with an idea real quick, I just start talking about it, and then, sometimes I kind of get lost in the micro versus the macro. That happens. All humans do that. That's something I talk about, all the time in my videos, like, always look at the macro, don't look at the micro. And I don't fault people for doing that because it's human, right? So I'm human. It happened to me. And I think once some people kind of, had some conversations with me about looking at the bigger picture, looking at all sides, I think that really helped me. And I thought, yes, the drumline instructor absolutely has priority. They're the company. They have their own private vendor list. But, if you get on their good side, okay, again, take that as a business tactic, okay, you're going to be on that drumline instructor's preferred vendor list. Does that make sense, okay? So, and at the end of the day, even if you do all those things, and the drumline instructor still says, you know what, I don't want you to go to Carl. I want you to go to my handpicked person, and, it's just going to be better, you're going to be better served doing that. What can I do, right? There's nothing I can do after that. I did my best, I did everything I could, and I just got to try to find students somewhere else. That's it, right? And try not to have a scarcity mindset, right? And then, just in terms of scarcity mindset, right? It's like, I also talked about how, just thinking like, there's one philosophy is better than the other, right? It's like that still all applies, okay? I still didn't like how, things were said semantically, where a drumline instructor says, what this private instructor is telling, what your private instructor is telling you is wrong, my way is better, this and that. Not cool, okay? And I think that is very, thinking in the micro versus the macro. There is no such thing as right and wrong, okay? There is such thing as right for our ensemble, right for the way I'm teaching, and this is what we're doing for now, but it doesn't mean necessarily that it's right. There's a lot of different ways of doing things that is correct, so kind of open up your mind about that, and that's kind of what people get stuck at, is that like, there's only my way, the way I learned it at my Drumline, and that's it. Nobody else's, methods are correct, right? You gotta not think like that. And some people do get caught up in that, and that's something I'm also trying to fight against. But yeah, so hopefully this kind of cleared things up, okay? So guys, if you like this video, if you like more videos like this, do me a huge favor, hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, would like to add to this conversation. I love it when people engage with conversation, with differing opinions, challenging me in a respectful way. I dig that. Okay, let's keep talking. Let's keep this conversation going, and then hopefully we can help bridge the gap between drumline instructors, private instructors, and let's all work together to better service who? The most important person of all, the student. And that might be you, okay? So cool. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, or if I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe. And otherwise, if you feel like this video could help somebody else out, help out a private instructor, help out a drumline instructor, see things a certain way, help out a certain student, maybe a student who's thinking about doing private lessons and how it can help them. Share this video with them, okay? And I'll just throw it out there. I offer private lessons, but I kind of, my schedule's filled. We'll see. It'll have to be like on a wait list possibly. So, but you can click the link down below. There will be a thing for that if you're interested. Okay? So.
Or like this, like barely using arms. It was weird.
Sure. Yeah, and everybody has a different style. So you're gonna get something a little bit different from me. My thing is like, if you were in my line, I'd be like, yeah, go like use the arm. Like that's, especially the faster you go. I mean, if we're going slow, then yeah, sure. Or if it's like a double, like a binary, yeah, sure. Then definitely use a lot more wrist. But as you go, I'm all about the arm, man. Like for sure. So, but that's me, and if that's how I would teach it. Cool, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and much respect to all teachers out there, drumline instructors, private drum instructors, and the students. Much respect and love to all of you. Much respect to all of you who are watching this video. Okay, cool. Peace out. Catch you guys on the next video. Oh, and one more thing. You guys should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and subscribing over here. Peace!